Hey, 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 everybody. Oh my God. I guess that light doesn't look too good. Do, 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 do. Okay, so it is what it is. I guess I could have put some more light on it, huh? Maybe I should. Well, it is what it is. So let's just move on. Okay, so this is for Libras, Aquarius, and Gemini for June the 7th. I have shuffled the cards, but I'll shuffle them again. Libras, Aquarius, and Geminis. Feels like some weird moon energy. I saw the moon card pop out. I saw the devil card pop out as well. Okay, let's see here. Is this going to help our light a little bit, or does it make it worse? I think it makes it a little worse. This way. Okay. Maybe I should lean in a little bit. I don't know what to do. Or maybe I should turn that. Let me see. We need you. Okay, let's see. Libras. Oh, that's a lot better, huh? Okay. Libras, Geminis, and Aquarius for June 7th. Oh, whoa, I didn't know that chair could do that. Whoa. I think you go up. Oops, I did that either. Is it on this side? Oh, I think, ah! Okay, well, I think I'm shorter now, huh? Whoa. Okay, there we go. Hey, y'all. Hey, what's going on with you? All right, Libras, Aquarius, Gemini, June 7th. You guys, there is a subscription that you can get on the website for $49.99. I'm keeping if you come in at $49.99, then it'll stay that way for the year. Okay? But let's see what's going on with Libras, Aquarius, Geminis. June 7th. Libras, Aquarius, Gemini. June 7th. Hi, good morning. Libras, Aquarius, Gemini. Libras, Aquarius, Gemini. All right, the Page of Earth. The Page of Earth is receiving good news about money. It's also recognizing the value of the work that you do, your own sense of self-worth. But more than anything, it's receiving good news about finances. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. Ooh, kind of tired. There's energy that you're trying to get rid of because it's blocking you from moving forward in your life with a relationship. Perhaps this energy is very heavy and it's been with you since you, for some of you, since you were 7. This is the same kind of reading we've been seeing this week. It looks like you guys are doing energetic work to literally get this energy up off you and stop hiding from it in order to be completely free from it. Many of you are called to do something with the death of people. Like you could be a sign that has air in it, but you have maybe water in your Mars or in your midheaven. Because some of you are supposed to work as morticians. You're supposed to some way somehow help the dead, some way somehow help people transition. So you guys are going through a metamorphosis of releasing energy that caused you to be attracted to third-party situations and that kept you bound and gagged in your life. There's a real deep healing that's taking place here. Some of you are so tired of being burdened by some type of addiction. It could be love addiction, cigarette addiction. Speaking of which, it could be love addiction. It could be, I don't know what kind of addiction it is, but you're tired of it. And it looks like plans need revision. It looks like some of you are dealing with a fire sign, maybe a Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Others of you are dealing with a Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Others of you are dealing with a Scorpio. And it seems like you're ending something. You're ending a way that you used to be with someone. You're ending, like you're coming to the end of a phase or coming to the end of having this energy that blocked relationships from you and prevented you from being able to have real connections, real authentic connections with people. So if for the past 20 years, for instance, if for the past 20 years, for instance, you used to date married men, you're not going to be doing that anymore. If for the past 30 years, you just have relationships that didn't work, oh, good. If for the past 30 years or 15 years you were like the side chick, you're not going to be that anymore. Whatever the case is, whatever used to stop you from moving forward in relationships, you are going to accept help from others. Okay? You're going to stop allowing this energy from your childhood to block you from relationships today. And there is a spiritual transformation. There's a spiritual transformation that's going to be taking place. Let's see what's going on with the one that you are connecting to. So you guys are mirroring each other. The one that you're connecting to, it looks like they are doing a lot of drinking right now or smoking a lot of pot. Okay? This person is highly intuitive and they're moving towards their intuition. And they're moving towards their life purpose or something about life purpose. You guys could possibly be in your life purpose, but you have this energy. When you have this energy here that blocks you from being with people, it prevents your relationships from really growing. Where they are is they're smoking a lot of weed. They're in a lot of fantasy, maybe about you, about this relationship. Is there a moderator in here? I see somebody who is coming in confused, a little shut down. Okay, thank you. I see somebody coming in confused, a little shut down, trying to use their intuition, maybe doing readings on you. And I feel like they're ready to move forward here, okay? And let's see what's happening. Where are they moving forward to? All right. So as far as your partner is concerned spiritually, they are, they've had options that they are icing out. They're using their intuition to move forward towards you. You are in a space where you might have some love addiction, sex addiction, crack addiction. You know, there's some type of addiction issues that blocks you, or some type of energy that blocks you from moving forward, maybe with a Scorpio. Okay, I see your partner wanting to move forward towards you. You could be dealing with a Cancer or a Pisces. You have to, one energy has to let go of something. One energy is trying to, needs to let go of somebody that they had a semi relationship with, that was actually just blocking the energy more than actually moving the energy forward. So somebody has somebody that they need to kind of maybe let go of, and they have. One of you in this partnership has let go of someone that actually was more of a burden than they were a prosperous partnership. And this death is so amazing. This death experience, this releasing of this old, this transformation that you're going through is going to make you such an available, hot ass partner, whether it's with this person or another person. This other person is also trying to let go of energy that no longer serves them. They have, they're procrastinating, they're trying to do research, they're really, you know, just overwhelmed emotionally right now. You're overwhelmed energetically. There's an energy that is attached to you, air signs. It's not even your energy. It could be the energy that belongs to someone else. Okay? But with the King of Swords, but with the King of Swords coming in here as an overall energy, I feel like there's going to be a cutting away of energy that no longer serves you, that interferes with you having the relationship of a lifetime. I mean, why else would you want to do all this type of work unless you feel like you want to be prepared for something that's really beautiful? Okay? This person is coming in with trying to get their emotions. You're trying to get your energy together. They're trying to get their emotions together. Okay? Their emotions are running amok, and their emotions are everywhere. In order to deal with all the emotions that they're feeling about an ending, they're using drugs, alcohol, and marijuana, okay, in order to stay afloat, to calm down their emotions so that they can use their intuition instead of the pain that they're feeling to move on from a situation that they need to cut themselves onto. Okay, so you and somebody else are getting ready for each other. You guys are just basically clearing out energy and making space for each other to come into each other's lives. The relationship is coming in as the Two of Swords, which is, you guys, you know what? I think that this relationship is becoming grounded, just kind of like we saw in the divine masculine, the divine feminine. I would really encourage you to check that out too, because it incorporates everything in your chart, everything in his chart, everything in their chart, and then just kind of sums up the totality of everything. Okay, because you're not just, well, most of you are not just air. I am. This is really, yeah, all air. A little Sag somewhere. Um, the relationship is, you know, the relationship was burdensome with this person, and it was filled with a lot of fantasy. And initially, you guys were going to cut it out because you were just at an indecision, at an impasse on what to do. With the King of Swords energy here, there could have been some bad feelings at one time. Maybe you guys shut down communication for a while. Okay? But I think that from what I'm seeing, you guys both recognize the value of your connection with each other. And so both parties are trying to do the very best that they can to clear out. One needs to let go of old energy and to release. Honestly, it feels like you might be wrestling with a spirit. Like there could be some type of attachment that's upon you that is not an energy that belongs to you. Like I feel like, not that it's demonic, but it feels sick. Like it feels like it may need some spiritual work done to it. And that's why the death card is coming in here as spiritual transformation, because you need to like look at this energy. But one of the hard reasons, one of the things that you guys don't, one of the reasons you don't get rid of the energy is because it feels good. Okay? Like, you know, to be deceptive or to sneak and get away with something, sometimes it feels good. Some of you might feel good from this devil energy. It's not a devil energy, it's a spirit. A spirit, that's what it is. It's a spirit that is energetically clamped itself onto you. And so sometimes you leave your partner baffled by your reactions because it's not you who's responding, it's a spirit that responds and uses your body and your mouth to respond to your partner. And that spirit wants to keep you alone by yourself, and it doesn't want you to be happy. And so that's why you guys are wrestling with the demon, trying to get this thing off of you in order to protect what you have or what you want to build with someone new. You've allowed this spirit to run amok for years, and now you guys are going to be parting ways. And this is something that's been with you for many, many years, maybe for some of you since you were 7. This could be fantasy. This could be love addiction. This could be masturbation. This could be sex addiction. This could be line addiction. This could be under earning. This could be whatever it is. It keeps you small, and the energy is so overwhelming and intrusive that it takes over you. Like you can't even have your experience when you're sitting next to someone and trying to be with them, because this energy takes over your mind, and then it moves you into seeing shit the way it wants you to see it. So there's a rebirthing that's taking place. That spirit is dying because you don't need it anymore. You might have needed it when you were a child, when you were getting molested. Maybe somebody used to molest you, and then you would tap out of this zone. You would tap out of here and go to the astral plane. When you did that, you left your body open. You see, when we go to La La Land, we leave our body open, and something came in there, and it might have been the way to cope with what was going on at 7. But now, you're a grown-ass woman, and this energy is still blocking relationships. It just makes them end. It could be it feels immature. It feels like a feeling of not feeling worthy, or not feeling like you deserve love, or something like that. But no matter what it is, it's coming to an end. You're releasing this energetically. But it's really serious, and it's very painful, because this is something, even though it's bad for you, it's been your coping mechanism for 30, 20, 40 years. But if you can't have both of them. It's like you can't have this relationship and this energy. Okay? It's like you have to choose. And it looks like you're choosing the relationship. This person, they're very psychic, and they understand to a certain extent what's going on with you, but they're going through their own spiritual maelstrom. Maelstrom. I don't know how to pronounce that, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, they're emotionally just all confused. They're shut down a little bit, trying to shut their emotions down so they can listen to their values, their intuition. And what their intuition is telling them is that they want to move forward with you. They are honestly, they are a little clearer. Even though they still may be wrapped up in something from the past, I feel like their skill set might be just a little sharper with their ability to advance a relationship. So, what is the relationship looking like? The relationship moves from the 2 of Swords to the Ace. And I think, sometimes it's always a good idea to go backwards in some cases with the Swords cards. So they move from being indecisive with the 2 of Swords to being very clear about cutting out behavior, people, energies, beliefs. Like there is an entire overhaul that is taking place in order to let, this person in. And the 2 cards that run the energies are the King of Swords and the 6 of Wands. So the King of Swords comes to cut out the bullshit, and the 6 of Wands is victorious. So your final outcome is the Page of Coins with the 6 of Wands, which means that there's going to be steady, consistent dedication on a very grounded manner, where the both of you are going to feel like the other really is starting to show up for this connection, to lay the foundation and the groundwork to have something of great renown and glory. Also, you guys are very highly spiritual. You may be connecting with each other spiritually. energetically, someone is going to start feeling like there is a covering around them from the other person. Like you may just start feeling the presence of this other person around. Um, they are going to be there for you energetically. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of prayer here. But yeah, this is a real spiritual week. And the decision that needs to be made is also made on the air signs side. Will you release this old energy that is blocking you and this person from having victory? It's hard to make that decision when you feel good. When they make you feel, well, not when they make you feel good, but when some type of dysfunctional energy makes you feel good, it's hard to break away from it. You know, it's like, well, if you keep drinking if you keep on drinking, you're going to die. But it's like, how do you tell me to stop drinking or stop using when it makes me feel so good? So some of you could be caught up in fantasy. Somebody may have a fantasy addiction. They stay in their mind, they stay in their heads. They have full-fledged relationships with people in fantasy instead of risking coming out of fantasy and having real authentic connections that require people to show up, risk getting hurt, tell who they are, and leave the outcome to God. So some of you are really coming out of immature, sick type of relationships where you did not have fulfillment, where you were not loved because of some old ways of dealing with childhood trauma and old ways of just relating. But today, there's somebody that stepped up to the plate that's making you want to get rid of this fantasy energy. You know, air signs can really, yeah, it is deep. It is. Air signs can really live in their head and they can have full-fledged relationships in their heads. But with the King of Swords coming saying, mm-hmm, really, Madison, is it too raw? Air signs come in, this King of Swords, he comes in and he speaks their mind. Yeah, I'm speaking my mind with confidence. That's exactly what's happening. And he's seeking out professional advice, and there's balance and emotional considerations. Yeah, so it looks like you guys are really coming out of this fantasy place, this energy. It looks to me like it's love addiction, to be quite honest. Like some people just really did not have the tools to have intimacy in their lives because they had a very low tolerance for intimacy, but they had a high tolerance for bullshit. Where there's somebody else, they're not really in a relationship, they're overwhelmed, overburdened, not really having an authentic emotional commitment with someone that they love because they got scared of that. They would run away from something authentic. But somebody is coming along in your life who is bringing in, it's kind of like I said this in another video. My grandmother said, when you love somebody, you get up. Like, and when a woman loves you, when a woman loves a man, and when a man loves a woman, it makes that person get up and change. It'll make that person get on the grind spiritually, emotionally, mentally. They do what they need to do to be with their boo when they love you. And this could mean like, okay, if baby likes money, let me get up off my ass and get it because I know that's going to make baby happy. If baby likes love, let me go and get my shit together emotionally so I can give. But somebody here has a fantasy addiction because the Seven of Cups is here and they're having a very hard time with deciding if they're going to get this relationship out of fantasy where they feel good and there's no communication, or are they going to really get out of fantasy, learn how to deal with the trauma from the past, move forward from it, and move away from having some fantasy, oh, I love you, it's all in my head. And somebody's going to become clear about it, and it looks like somebody really decides, hey, yeah, actually, I do want to move out of fantasy. I do want to move away from love addiction. I do want to move away from sex addiction. I do want to move away from these one-night stands or these 3-month encounters that don't work. And I do want to stop having these unfulfilling relationships that go nowhere. And so what ends up is the Page of Earth, okay? And with the Page of Earth, there's good news about financial matters, but it's also good news about you recognizing, honoring, and valuing, who this other person is. Also, you're going to be valuing and honoring yourself, but also knowing the worth of true intimacy. You're going to be acknowledging and recognizing that there's fantasy can never take the place of a human being who truly wants to show up to you, show up for you, move forward in the relationship and give you something tangible like love, touch, commitment, honesty, dedication, and real work. Wow, that was some shit. So you guys are, moving towards victory. Victory from your own demons. Okay? Wow. Shit. Maybe I should stop praying before readings. So at my website, we're going to look at the other energy, see where they're coming from, because this was how, one energy was coming. So one energy is, like I said, in a nutshell, is letting go of the energy of fantasy, where, in order to be in fantasy, the person has to have somebody else, so you can be triggered and hurt, and using that hurt as a way of having a relationship in your mind with somebody who is really not there. So, yeah, this energy of the Seven of Swords feeds this fantasy where nobody is really there but the relationship that's happening in your mind. Some people are at odds with releasing it because, when you're on drugs or when you're releasing fantasy, chemical addictions, it feels good. So some of you are just fantasy addicts, love addicts, addicted to impossible relationships that cannot work because somebody is actually in their head having a relationship instead of in the real world, where there's communication and there's talking and there's, an exchange of ideas and an exchange of touch. But it looks like you guys are letting that go. Okay, I see victory, but it looks like it's going to be a hard won victory. The chariot does represent moving forward. Yeah, put your fantasies in a book. Yeah, that's another really good way of looking at that. You guys are coming out of fantasy and you're moving, but in regards to love, it looks like somebody has a decision to make. Somebody may have to choose between two people. Other person has to choose between energy. Do they want the energy of addiction where they're alone and the person is not there? There's no communication, there's no touch, there's no sex, it's just fantasy. Or do you want something real, solid, committed? Isn't it a struggle? Imagine being an heir, a triple heir. We do. Yeah. Until we arrive. But see, the thing about it is, it's not the person, it's the fact that we are attached to this fantasy. And it's like, damn, what do I want more? The high that I get from the fantasy or the groundedness that I can have from somebody who's really there, who loves me? Okay, so air signs, that's your reading. I will finish this at website. There will be a link in the description box. So as you guys know, I go deep. You gotta be ready to go to the bottom of the ocean, baby. Okay, so I'll just lay their cards out right now so I can be ready and just press record and finish where they're coming from. Jesus. Okay, this is where the other energy is. Yeah, the other energy definitely can have a relationship in the real world, I think, a little better than us. And they don't understand where we're coming from with this fantasy shit at all. They're like, what the fuck? You in this fantasy thing, you better get out of this fantasy thing. But this could be like an addiction. This could be something that needs to have some type of professional help if you want a real relationship. Okay, you guys, if I were you, I'd get this reading. All right, see you later. God bless.